Hi everyone, welcome to Grade Up. In this segment of the video, we'll be discussing about AIMS 2017. As you all know, this exam is going to be conducted on 28th of May and the anxiety level among the students is very high about this exam. I receive a number of queries like, ma'am, what should I do? I'm getting so worried about this exam. The NEET will had the same syllabus, but AIMS makes me anxious. And when I ask them why is that simple, they don't know. The answer is just like, ma'am, I don't know how to solve assertion and reason type of questions. I can do the MCQs, but I just don't know. I get stuck when I do assertion and reason type of questions. I just don't get them right. So in this video, we will try to solve this problem for you. We will tell you that how you need to solve these assertion and reason type of question. What should be the ideal strategy that you will be getting familiarized. You will get familiarized with this assertion and reason type of questions. Now, before moving ahead, let me first discuss what will be the pattern of the examination. As you are all aware of that it involves 60 questions from the physics section, 60 questions from the chemistry section, 60 questions from the biology section, and 20 questions will be from general knowledge and the aptitude part. I'll come back to the slide later on, but let me first discuss the scheme of marking. So 200 questions in total, and there will be +1 marks for your every correct response. And if you have an incorrect response, that is your answer is wrong, then you will be given, the 1/3 of the marks will be deducted, right? And no marks will be given when the answer is not answer or when it is marked as for review. So I hope this is clear. So one more thing, you all know that the AIMS exam, the maximum total marks of the examination is 200, right? So we have 200 questions, 200 marks in total. And I'll come back to this. Let me first discuss what are the different type of questions that will be there. So in physics, we will have 40 questions, simple MCQ types, right? And 20 questions will be your assertion and reason type. Same goes with the chemistry, that 40 questions from MCQs and 20 will be from like assertion and reason. The same is with the bio, that 40 simple questions, 20 will be your assertion and reason type of question, and 20 questions in general from general knowledge and aptitude type. So why I'm discussing this is we will try to understand what is the importance of assertion and reason type first of all. Why this assertion and reason type of questions are so important for your score. So as I told you that we have 200 marks in total, right? So what is the minimum score you need to have in order to score a good seat in the AIMS? Right? So the minimum score is ideally has to be 125 plus. That means you need to score a minimum of 125 marks for securing a good seat in AIMS. And how will that be possible? So what can be the strategy here? Assuming the fact that in the physics section you will be able to score 25 marks, right? Why I'm saying this 25, or you can say these are those 25 questions which you are sure of. That means you will get 25 marks for sure in the physics section. You know that these 25 questions that you have attempted, they are all correct. I'm not counting here your incorrect responses or the questions that you will be in doubt. So these 25 questions are those which you are 100% sure that are going to give you marks. Okay, same goes with the chemistry section. Let's say you are sure that your 25 questions are right, so you will get 25 marks for this part of the question. The same goes with the biology, but assuming that bio is easy, keeping in mind that you all are medical students, so you have given plenty amount of time in the preparation for biology, and the medical students are usually more comfortable with attempting biology section. So let's say you are confident about 35 questions, or you can have 35 marks. In general knowledge and aptitude type of question, usually they are very easy. Aptitude is much more easier. You will be able to solve roughly 8 to 9 questions, but just keeping the medium level for this marking. Let's assume that out of 20 you are able to solve 10 questions. So that means you get 10 marks out of these 20 marks that have been allotted to the section. You are able to grab 10 marks. So this can be counted as a total of 50. Then we have 85 and a total of 95 marks. So you have 95 marks in your pocket right now, right? So these 95 are easy to score. I think everyone will be able to score these 95 marks. Now, so I told you that you need to have minimum of 125 marks. That means you are still short of 30 marks. Now, how you can score these 30 marks? That's the question here. So these 30 marks are going to come from your assertion and reason type, and that is the point you need to focus on. That is the reason that these type of questions are so important to you. So out of 20, let's say you are able to do 10 from physics, 10 from chemistry, and 10 from biology. So can you see the impact here? You have got 30 marks. So 95 plus 30 marks can lend you up to have a 125 minimum score. And if you get a good knowledge, or you just get to know that yes, this is the way I should be attempting these questions, so you can score more than that. We have 60 questions, so you can score roughly 40 questions or 45 questions from assertion and reason type. So this is what you need to do for this examination. Okay, so now we will discuss how to do these assertion and reason type of question and what should be your strategy for solving this question. Let's move ahead. So first of all, in the assertion and reason type of question, two statements will be given. The one statement will be your assertion, the second statement will be your reason, right? So the first option will be assertion. Let me just have a little bit of let me write A for assertion and R for reason. So the first option can be when both assertion and reason are true, and the reason here. So the reason is correctly explaining the assertion. So that means I'll explain this point to you with the help of the example questions that I have taken. So what I mean here is we have assertion, we have a reason, both the statements are true, and the reason is correctly explaining our assertion. So that's your first option. In the second also the same thing goes, but the difference here is the second also both the assertion is also true, reason is also true, but the difference is the reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. That means the first statement is also true, the second statement is also true, but they are totally different. They are not explaining each other why the first statement exists in the first place. So there is no interlink between them. Okay. The third statement here talks about that yes, first statement is true, that is your assertion is true, but the reason is false. And the fourth statement is both the statements are false, that is your assertion is also false and your reason is also false. So what we have is we have created a table for us to first determine whether the statement is true or false. So what should be your first step? Your first step should be you need to first identify that out of these two statements, which of them are true or which of them are false. Then we will discuss about the second step. So let's take an example for this. So here in the question 1, so here the assertion is in bacteria the chromosome is irregularly folded into a compact mass, the nucleide or the genophore of a definite form. So what does it say? It talks about a bacteria, talks about the genetic material of the bacteria, and it states that it is irregularly folded. Yes, and that part of the genetic material is called as a nucleoid. That's true, right? That's very much true, and we know that the bacteria does not have an organized nucleus, and that's why it is the genetic material is irregularly folded and it's present in the center of the cell, right? So this statement is true. That let's mark it true. The reason is in bacteria there is no organized nucleus, so that's also true. I have just stated it. Right? So that's also true. So the first step is we have done. We have determined that yes, whether the assertion was true or false, or whether the reason is true or false, and we have just here assertion is also true, reason is also true. So now what we are trying to find out? We are trying to find out. So we have first two cases where both assertion and reason are true. Remember, I just shown you in this. So we have these two as the option. Third and fourth are already ruled out. So we have this and this. Now we need to find out whether the reason is explaining the assertion or not. So that's your second step. So the second step, how we need to do? First, ask a question, why? Once you figure out that, okay, we have true and false, whether assertion is true, whether reason is true or false, then you need to ask a question, why? So here, if I ask the question that why the chromosome is irregularly folded into a complex one, why it is not organized, not present in organ, simple because of the reason, because the bacteria does not have a organized nucleus, right? So if your answer of why comes automatically and that is similar to the reason given here, then yes, you know that reason is correctly explaining your assertion. So in this case, option number A is correct. Option number, sorry, let me just write in the another form. So let's say the option A is correct. That means assertion is also true, reason is also true, and reason is correctly explaining your assertion. Let's have another example here. In the question 2, there is another statement given, assertion, rigor mortis is the state of body suffering prior to death. So first step is to determine whether it is true or false. Obviously, this is a false statement because this is not it is not the state of the body suffering prior to death. This is after to death, right? So the statement is false. The second reason is it is due to the relaxation of actin and myosin filament, which is also false, right? So why it is false? Because we know this happens because the actin and myosin filaments, they're not able to separate, and because of the unavailability of the ATP. So they're not able to separate, and that's because the stiffening happens after the death of the person. So both the statements are false here. And if both the statements are false, then we are at what stage? We are at option number 4 here. So that is both the statements are false, and we have just figured out what could be the correct answer, right? It's easy, I guess, right? I hope you are understanding that how you need to do. Let's come. So the correct answer for this question will be option number D, right? Let's move ahead with one more example just to simplify the things further for you. So the question third is here, assertion is mammals have developed a complex respiratory system. Yes, we have a complex respiratory system first of all. So here the statement is true. Yes. The reason is mammalian skin is impermeable to gases. So what do you think? Is it impermeable to gases? We do not see the gases are coming out of our body. So yes, it is impermeable to gases. So here also we have two options. Here assertion is also true, reason is also true. But what will be the second step? The second step will be to ask question why, right? So we need to ask this question. We'll state of assertion. So here, mammals have developed a complex respiratory system. Why is that? So what could be the answer? We have a respiratory system, we have a complex respiratory system because we have high metabolic rate. We require more efficient transport of gases. So that's why we have developed a complex respiratory system, right? Is the answer given? Is the reason given like something like this with the change of words maybe? But no, the reason given here is mammalian skin is impermeable to gases, which is true, but it does not answer your reason for the statement 1 given here. So what could be the answer? The answer here for this question will be option number B. Why option number B? Because assertion is true, reason is true, but the reason is not correctly explaining our assertion. So here the option B will be the correct one. I hope that now you are clear with the what way you need to approach this question and how you need to solve it, right? At last minute tips, I want to talk about the last minute tips. The first thing is you need to revise the NCERT only. Don't go and open too many books. This is not the right time to do that. You already have very less time left for the exam day. So you need to revise what you have already learned, right? Rather than going and opening and just forcing yourself into too many books, just focus on the NCERT. It is more precise version of the other books. So that will give you a quick revision of the topic in very less amount of time. Here at the second point, I want to discuss that you need to avoid learn new topics, because again, you have very less time. You don't want to mess up your mind with new concepts. What is more required is you need to focus on the existing concept, brush those up, like they should be on your trips, rather than moving in a wrong direction and learning new topics. Or maybe you can spend like 1 hour or 2 in understanding those topics. So time is money here, guys. So don't waste time on learning new topics. Go back, revise notes, revise your existing things that you have already learned, and focus your time there. Third is you need to focus on speed and accuracy at this point of time. No use of knowledge is there when you don't know how to maintain your attention of your questions with the right speed and accuracy. This is an online exam, so this is the major factor that you need to focus on. How you can improve it? First of all, go practice quizzes, practice mock tests, practice questions that are available online. We are rolling out AIMS mock quizzes every day. You can come online. You can try these quizzes on the app as well. Also, we have made previous year AIMS examination available on the test prep app. So just to have a clear idea of how this online exam will be there, you can attempt those previous year paper in an online format, and you will be given a real-time analysis of your performance, of how good or bad you are at speed and accuracy, and how good and bad you are performing. So just try your hand on these tests. I hope you will do good. Last but not the least, do not attempt the question which you are not sure of. That means you don't want to lose the marks that you have scored by giving a correct answer on the incorrect response, right? Because 1/3 of the marks will be lost. So you don't want to do that. Just make sure, if you're not sure of the answer, just do not do it. Leave it, because you will lose marks. There is a negative marking in the examination. So be sure of what you are answering, and that will be the key to your success. Last but not the least, do not attempt all the questions on the go. Some students are very stubborn that, okay, 5 questions ke baad 6th hi karna hai. Don't do that. If you are not sure that, okay, 6 questions seems to be very difficult and you are not able to solve it, just skip the question, come back later, try it again, and then you will do it, right? Do not attempt all the question in one go. If you are not sure, just take your time, take a breath, attempt other questions, and then you will be fine. Okay, so that's all for this session. Wish you all the best for your examination. I hope that you will all do very good, and join us on the GradeUp app, which is the #1 test prep community. Happy learning, happy studying from Team GradeUp.